Hello and welcome to the quick afternoon stimulus update on the 15th of April. There's plenty of updates here on the stimulus checks, the EIDL grant programs, and the paycheck protection programs. There's a ton of information jammed in this entire video. I'm going to give it to you as quick as I can. So make sure you watch the entire thing and hit that like button if you love the quick afternoon update. So as of 4/15, according to a poll of over 6,500 small businesses, the SBA has funded approximately 4% of the paycheck protection loans businesses who have applied to this program. Now that is up from 2.5% from just yesterday. So we're up 1.5%. That's pretty exciting. The average wait time went down a little bit. The average wait time for those who have been funded is now down to 5 days. I applied almost 2 weeks ago, so I'm nowhere near that average. I'll let you guys know if and when I get any kind of funding or contact back. I applied through 2 different banks just to see which one gets back to me quicker. The median company size for those who have received the Paycheck Protection Program is 16 employees, and the median loan amount is $165,000. According to the same poll, 1.5% of small businesses who have applied for the EIDL grant program have received the funding of the advance, only of the advance. This doesn't sound like a whole lot, 1.5%. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but it is up from just 0.5% yesterday. So that's 3 times more businesses than just yesterday, and I expect it's going to be much higher by tomorrow because I've received notice from tons of different businesses who have received their advance funding, and I'll go more into that just a little bit later in this video. The median company size is 6 employees for the EIDL grant, and the median grant amount is $6,000, which went down a little bit from yesterday. Yesterday was $8,500 median grant amount. The stimulus check payments are still being rolled out, with millions already receiving funding, probably pending in their accounts still. I can expect it's probably about a 2-day pending period in order to receive that debit. SSI and SSDI recipients are scheduled to begin receiving checks by next week. One piece of news, a question that I keep getting asked, and I'm going to address even more questions tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a video coming out that's all the most common questions I get asked about the stimulus checks. I went through, did research, read literally hundreds of comments, so that will be dropping tomorrow morning. But one of the most common questions that I keep getting asked is people who have a tax debit card, like the Emerald card, the Turbo card, the Direct Express card. They all will be receiving their stimulus directly on their debit cards. This is great news because just 2 days ago, both TurboTax and H&R Block were unsure if this was actually going to happen or not. It literally said directly on their website, we don't know if the stimulus is going to be deposited on these cards or not, but they indeed are. I actually have an employee who has a H&R Block card, and it was deposited yesterday. Well, it's pending, but the funds are going to be there, and she has one of those cards. So that's really exciting. We actually need to applaud the IRS for being on top of this. In this case, you know, they're kind of doing a good job. They're over-delivering. Under-promise, over-deliver. Back to EIDL news, millions of small businesses seem to have received the following email yesterday. It stated, the advance is available as part of the full EIDL application and will be transferred into the account you provide shortly after your application is submitted. To ensure the greatest number of applicants can receive assistance during this challenging time, the amount of your advance will be determined by the number of your pre-disaster employees. The advance will provide $1,000 per employee up to a maximum of $10,000, which is what we keep hearing, but literally millions of people receive this email. I got so many messages saying people receive this. But what I find strange is this email tells you to make an account, but nowhere does it actually prompt you to make one. So here's my suspicion. I think that this was just a blanket email sent to just literally everyone in order to make it seem like things are happening more quickly than they are with the SBA. Because again, only 1.5% of the EIDL grants have been funded. I think they just sent this out as kind of like a we're working, just wait kind of thing, which, you know, that is what it is. Because I received it, there's no way to make an account right now. That's kind of just where we're at. The best thing to do is just be patient on that end. A good piece of EIDL news is there seems to be a select group of people who are receiving funding from their advance despite having their credit frozen, which is really interesting. It was thought in the past that if you had your credit frozen, you may be skipped for a period and then placed in line, and a loan officer will later contact you. However, there's a fellow YouTuber, Meet Kevin, received his advance today for his business despite having his credit frozen, which I found really interesting. My hypothesis as to why is because he received his advance through a business that used an EIN number instead of his Social Security number. Now, if you aren't aware, an EIN number is similar to a Social Security number, but for a business. So I'm thinking if you applied as a business, your Social Security number may not be checked the same as if you're a sole proprietor or something that uses your Social Security number directly as the business. Now, I'm in a similar boat here where I have my credit frozen and I use an EIN for the application through my business. I've not received funding yet, but I will definitely let you guys know as soon as I receive something. Other people have also received funds without any contact at all. I received a few messages today from people who didn't even receive any emails from the SBA, absolutely nothing, and then had this morning deposits into their account for $1,000 or whatever their respective loan amount, or advance amount is. So that's kind of strange. There's people receiving with no contact, no credit hit. So it's kind of up in the air what exactly the system is. I'm just reporting things as they come. So in other EIDL loan news, there have been people receiving their advance, but I've yet to see anyone receive the actual loan amount above the advance. The loan amount, which is defaulted to $15,000 for pretty much everyone with decent credit, as a loan application. There's a YouTube user by the name of Kai Kim who seems to be one of the first people who are receiving basically everything with this program. He documented last week that he received this $15,000 loan proposal. He submitted all the documents, but then this week he logged back in and saw that the process had reverted back to the beginning as if he never completed it. So once you do receive a loan offer, make sure that you log into the portal and check it regularly to ensure that it's submitted properly and going through, because all these systems are new and there's likely going to be a few kinks and just things that aren't working right away. So that's something that we've seen happen. Make sure you double check that if you have an account. If you have not yet received a link to create a portal, the best thing to do is just be patient. I'm in the same boat as you. It sucks to sit around doing nothing, but that's really all we can do at this point is be patient. So that's all I have today for the stimulus checks, Paycheck Protection Program, EIDL grant program. If you guys are bored sitting in self-quarantine, go and check out some of my other videos if you're interested in business content. I got a bunch on marketing. We're following Stacy, who is starting a cleaning business, and that's been really exciting. So there's plenty of content out there on my channel. Feel free to check that out. I know a lot of you are new and aren't familiar with my typical content. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.